This is OwlUp, where learning happens in minutes, not hours. For a deeper journey, explore all our courses at owlup.co. Now, let's dive in. Chapter 3 of Thinking in Bets. Make better decisions under uncertainty. Embracing uncertainty. In this chapter, you'll learn: explain how uncertainty is inherent in every decision. Let's dive in. A giant retailer once discovered that over about a third of its sales came from one quiet source, a recommendation engine that never promised certainty, only better odds. Now, drop yourself into a high-stakes choice where you must act before those odds are fully known. Amazon doesn't know what you'll buy next. It just bets well enough, often enough, to move billions. That's the real game, not eliminating uncertainty, but learning to operate inside it. Any single choice, and look at how skilled decision-makers structure their whole environment around uncertainty. Instead of asking, "Is this safe or risky?" they ask, "What's the upside? What's the downside? And how often might each happen?" This is where tools like probability estimates, expected value, and diversification stop being abstract math and start shaping product launches, hiring bets, investment in new skills, even health decisions. We'll connect these ideas to real failures and successes, from crisis-era banks to global health planning, so you can see how embracing uncertainty can actually make your world more stable. Most of us still default to yes-no thinking. Will this project work or fail? Is this hire right or wrong? Is this product a hit or a flop? But real life rarely cooperates with on-off switches. Outcomes arrive more like playlists than single tracks. Some good, some bad, some weird remixes you didn't expect. In this episode, we'll explore how people and organizations quietly bake option value into their choices. They start smaller, leave more exit ramps, and design moves that reveal information as they go. That shift, from predicting the future to learning from it, turns uncertainty from a threat into raw material. When stakes rise, most people instinctively grab for certainty. Just tell me if this will work. Professionals in volatile environments do almost the opposite. They expose their assumptions on purpose. They ask, "What would I have to believe for this to be a good bet?" and then stress test those beliefs. That's what many tech companies do with A/B tests. They don't launch one grand right version. They launch multiple, each one probing a different guess about user behavior. The same mindset drives how good investors treat new ideas. They'll risk a small, capped amount to see how reality pushes back before committing more. A practical move here is to separate 3 layers of any bet. 1. The thesis, the story you're telling yourself. 2. The numbers, rough odds, payoffs, and worst-case damage. 3. The kill switch, clear conditions under which you stop, shrink, or pivot. The 2008 crisis showed what happens when Layer 3 is vague. Value-at-risk models summarized normal days, but downplayed extreme scenarios. Institutions behaved as if low-probability disasters were ignorable, not existential. When rare events hit, there were no firm tripwires, only delayed, emotional reactions. Contrast that with how some public health teams think about pandemics. They budget for drills, data systems, and surge capacity long before they need them. The investment looks small and boring compared to everyday demands, yet viewed across decades, it's a giant prevention bet with potentially enormous upside and contained cost. Notice the pattern. They design for volatility instead of pleading for stability. That can mean preferring many small, reversible moves over a few massive, irreversible ones. Building buffers, cash, time, slack capacity, so rare shocks don't instantly break the system. Treating each decision as a source of information, not just an outcome to judge. You can port this into your own life. A career change, for instance, doesn't have to be one cliff-edge leap. It can be a portfolio of small probes, a course, a project, a side collaboration, each with pre-decided checkpoints where you reevaluate. The shift is subtle but powerful. You're no longer chasing guarantees, you're engineering a path where being wrong is affordable and instructive. A product manager at a startup doesn't ask, "Will this new feature win?" They run it as a limited rollout to 5% of users, cap engineering time, and decide in advance. If engagement lifts by at least 3% in 4 weeks, we expand. If not, we retire it and log what we learned. The move is small, but it upgrades their map of user behavior. An individual investor might mirror this by putting only a slice of savings into a new asset class, with a preset loss limit and date to reassess. The goal isn't to nail the perfect entry point, it's to buy a real-time education that doesn't threaten their future. Think of a hiker choosing routes in an unfamiliar forest. Instead of committing to a single long trail, they start with a short loop that intersects others. Each junction offers a fresh read on weather, energy, and daylight, keeping multiple paths open rather than forcing an all-or-nothing march. You can treat your life like a series of pilot programs. Instead of hunting for one flawless plan, you run small, time-boxed trials. A different workout, a new collaboration style at work, a revised savings habit. Each mini-launch gives data you can fold into the next round. Over time, your calendar, finances, and relationships start to look less like rigid commitments and more like a living portfolio that you keep tuning as conditions shift. Your challenge this week: choose one area, health, money, or work, and design a tiny, bounded experiment with a clear review date. Treat each decision less like carving stone and more like adjusting a recipe. Taste, tweak, try again. As you practice, notice how your stress shifts from "will this work?" toward "what might I learn next?" That move, from defending plans to updating them, quietly compounds. Over months, your lucky breaks start to look a lot like deliberate design. Try this experiment. Pick one decision you've been avoiding because you don't know enough yet, like changing jobs, starting a side project, or having a hard conversation, and give yourself exactly 20 minutes to gather good enough information, then lock in a choice before the timer ends. For the next 3 days, treat that choice as a live experiment. Act on it in at least one concrete way each day, assuming it's temporary and adjustable rather than permanent. At the end of day 3, quickly rate the outcome on a 1 to 10 scale for A, anxiety before acting, B, anxiety after acting, and C, what you actually learned that you could not have learned by thinking alone. This was OwlUp, your daily step forward. To keep learning with structured courses and more insights, go to owlup.co. Until tomorrow!